Everybody, welcome back for another episode of Almost Athletes. We are back, Christopher and myself. We took last week off, courtesy of us visiting Indy, going to the Indy 500, which we will talk about a little bit more in tomorrow's episode on Almost Patriots. But as you know, this is Almost Athletes, so today we are going to be talking about a lot of sports-related stuff. Topics include Trump's executive order regarding NIL. We'll give you a little update on the NBA playoffs and how my Knicks are really sucking right now.
Yeah, they are.
We'll talk about the NIL lawsuits with no eligibility limit. We're going to get into a little dicey topic with Bill Belichick, NFL fully guaranteed contracts. We're going to go down nostalgia lane where we talk about the Fighting Illini, and we're going to talk about some corporate stuff, too, about ESPN shutting down their LA studios to move back to, guess where? Connecticut, where it all started. So we're going to kick it off real fast. We're going to talk about the first topic, Trump executive order regarding NIL. Now, Chris, have you seen this at all? Have you
I
read
looked
up on
at
this?
it. It was there's some pretty good. This is the image that they showed online of Saban and Trump shaking hands.
Yeah, that's pretty much about all they have so far. Trump basically wants to do an executive order he wants to regulate the NIL situation with all the schools and everything. If you're not familiar what's going on is the NIL is getting out of control in the college arena. Now, there's a couple of things going on. There's House settlement with the NCAA regarding monies paid to the schools. They want to try to change the NIL deals where schools can actually contribute to the players and the players' fund. But there's a big issue going on with it right now, and it's kind of like, how do we handle with the compliance factors? And those compliance factors you can see with a couple of these bigger stories, like Nico from Tennessee. I think it was New Mexico's quarterback, and Florida had a player where it's basically they sign these contracts to go to schools, they're promised this money, and then guess what happens? They turn around and the schools are not paying, so they decide to drop out and stop playing. So the unique thing about the NIL deal with Trump is they actually haven't said anything of substance. There hasn't really been any, real talk. It just basically is a buzzword where it's compliance. But this is something that I think is needed. I think you need to have compliance departments at schools to turn around and realistically monitor this shit, because schools and players can get, excuse my language, but fucked at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, when the idea first came out, I really liked it. I mean, the idea that these guys can, sell their image and like make money, right, and not do all these underhanded deals in the back rooms, getting money from donors and everything, because all those guys are getting money. I mean, we all know they're getting money.
They always did.
It was all under the table, right? And so now they actually make a brand and do some work. But now it's just, I mean, we should have all known better. I didn't really think about it too much when it first came out, but now, I mean, if you look, Indiana is spending $10 million, and what the
Is that
so
just
much
on the
money.
football team?
Yeah, that's just football.
I feel bad for them because they played like shit conference this year, but they did do well. So, no, I agree with you. I think when they rolled out the NIL deal, it's great in theory, but you knew you're going to run into problems like this because anything new, it's like learning on the fly. You have to figure these things out. Like the new college football system where it's like, all right, we're going to give the top conferences one bye, and now they realize that was a problem last year. So I'm curious to see which way they're going to go in this. Knowing Trump and the way he's been lately, he's going to throw out like ideas about executive orders and probably get shot down in court like it's been going on recently because he hasn't had a lot of luck in the court systems. But I'm hoping they do compliance system, like where each school, for example, has a compliance department. But I did read something today. I forgot what school it was, but they fired, I think it was like 20 employees in the athletic department. So it was like they cut down on the athletic department, the personnel. So this is going to be something to be seen. I don't know where it's going to go, but hopefully they get these things corrected because
I hope they fix it. I mean, because like you look at the March Madness this year. I mean, nobody had a chance, right? NIL money
Oh,
is
yeah.
like building these stacked teams, and I think I've heard many people say that Gone is the Cinderella story for March Madness as long as the NIL is the way it currently is, because there's not going to be no Steph Curry at a Davidson doing anything, because Steph Curry's going to make millions of dollars playing for whoever, right?
Yeah, well, he'll have one good year, and then he'll leave Davidson
Yeah.
and go to like a Duke or something
for a
Well, I
bunch
saw-
of money. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you can't build teams, but the contract element is going to be the important thing there, where it's like, okay, if you sign a contract, you're abiding by a 4-year contract. You got to stay for 4 years. You're signing a commitment here. So you will get some players that do that. You'll get some players. But then it gets dicey because you get into the legal world.
Well,
And
how does that
then-
work? How does that work with minors? I mean, all these if you're like 18, I mean,
Well, do you want to have Jeffrey Epstein?
No, I mean, as far as like contract enforcement. I mean, how does that work with?
It's unconscionable, like meaning if they don't understand what they're signing. But I'm gonna say this right now: an 18-year-old understands what he's signing. It's a different story when it's a minor. Like you're talking about somebody that fully doesn't understand what they're getting involved in. An 18-year-old can do almost everything. They could go to war.
Right.
They can do a ton of different things. The element there is a little bit different. So
Yeah, I was just curious if
Yeah.
it's like there's an age line, 18
You-
or 21 or whatever.
best believe you might have some of those arguments.
Somebody's gonna argue. Yeah, somebody's gonna
Oh,
argue against
100%.
it. Yeah.
All right, let's go to our next topic, NBA playoff updates. So, I have been watching very closely my Knicks.
We've been here in Indianapolis watching the games.
Well, it's been very painful. Once they lost the 2 games out of New York, it
Go,
hurt.
baby, let's go.
The Knicks are currently down 3-1 playing, I believe it's tonight, right?
No.
Oh, no. It's
No,
the
they're
Timberwolves
traveling
tonight.
back to New York
Yeah.
tonight, so tomorrow.
Yeah, but so it's the Timberwolves versus OKC. OKC is putting a hurting on right
I
now.
think that series is over tonight.
Yeah, well, Anthony Edwards hasn't been playing like himself. He's been a little bit
He
quieter.
hasn't been playing
He
like
hasn't-
himself in a while. I mean, that's why the Lakers got rid of him.
No, the Lakers didn't get rid of Anthony Edwards.
Oh, sorry. You said Edwards. Yeah. I thought you said it. I was thinking Davis. Yeah. My bad.
Come on, get your shit together. The free throw merchant is
Someday.
getting to the line like usual. And by free throw merchant, I mean, Gillis Alexander. He is Doris Burke. Saw Twitter and started referencing that, because of all of his flopping during the broadcast of the games, which is absolutely hilarious. It looks like OKC is going to win that series. You got the Knicks versus Pacers.
Well,
Once
before you
we
go
lost-
back, Ant-Man has been complaining about getting double teamed.
Well, I wish. I'm not going to make that joke. But yeah, well, look, I think
Like,
this year.
welcome to the NBA.
Yeah, but I think this year the Timberwolves team's a little bit different because you're missing Towns this year, who's a inside threat, whereas in the past you had Rudy Gobert and Towns. I don't think he has enough help this year. I think DiVincenzo's a good player. I think Randall's a good player, but I gotta be honest with you, Randall's a little overrated in my opinion. But Edwards has got to find a way around it. Like, I gotta be honest with you. Like,
Yeah,
you
of
didn't hear
course.
you
Yeah.
didn't hear Jordan complaining about
You got double team all the time.
you didn't hear Jordan complaining about the double teams.
Nope.
I did create some Twitter controversy and said that he's
Of course you
the next coming of Jordan. He's
I
on
saw
his
that.
way, and there were a lot of people on X that did not like that. And I got to be honest with you, I loved trolling you because some of those comments were hilarious. I think he's the closest to a Kobe that we'll have in a very long period of time because he's a both side of the ball player, defense and offense. But enough with the Western Conference. I got to go to the Eastern Conference. My Knicks suck. You know what this series reminds me of, though? In all honesty, it reminds me of the Knicks back
Every time the
in-
Knicks go to the playoffs.
Ouch. Hit me in my heart when you do it. It reminds me, I gotta be honest with you, it reminds me of the old school Knicks Pacers
Rivalry, yeah.
The rivalry. Dude, I remember, like, you remember, like, I don't know if you paid attention because you're a fair weather basketball fan.
Oh wow. Okay, sure.
But I was gonna say these take me back to this John Starks, the Charles Oakley, the Patrick Ewing, the Doc Rivers. Geez, and then on the flip side, the Pacers. Everybody remembers Reggie Miller, but
Oh, yeah.
but you remember Rick Smith, Shrimp. You had fucking Dale Davis. You had Mark Jackson. I mean, like, I think the most, how do I say it? I think 1993's Eastern Conference first round, where basically Stark headbutted Miller. They both got
yeah.
ejected. I mean, those were the games. It's similar now because you see the chipping going on. But, like, do you remember when Reggie Miller was literally talking shit to Spike Lee? Do you remember when he was hitting it, like, at the end of the games, or not the end of the games, but during the games, he was yelling at Spike Lee, and Spike Lee was yelling back at him, and then he makes the choke remarks. It reminds me a lot like that because that was game one.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, well-
the Knicks been choking.
Well, Chris Mullins was there on there too. I mean, there's a
that's
ton.
right, I forgot
yeah,
about
yeah,
Mullins.
the horseshoe.
Oh God,
The horseshoe.
Don't forget, you had Anthony Davis too. You had Byron Scott. You had so many players. I mean, those were great games. And I got to be honest with you, that was when New York basketball, you were invested. And it feels like the same thing. Like, if you look at the New York fans right now going on, you see how
Oh, dude, they've come out in droves.
They've come out in droves. And you have all the celebrities too, which, by the way, is like hilarious to see.
Timothy
because,
Chalamet, and you see that?
Yeah, so I didn't know he was from New
Ben
York.
Stiller and Timothy Chalamet had seats together. That's pretty
Well,
funny.
yeah, they went to the Indiana game. You saw that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the best part is this rivalry is back to the point where in Indiana, after game, I think it was 3, an Indiana Pacers fan didn't like a bunch of Knicks fans talking in
They were
a bar,
throwing shit at him. They were throwing stuff at him.
and the Indiana fan decided to go and grab a knife and stab him.
Nice.
So I thought we were in New York personally when I heard that because game 3 I was at, and if anybody's in the Indiana area, I highly suggest you go to Twin Peaks to go watch the game. Do not go to Twin Peaks in Greenwood. I'll gotta be honest with you.
No, that was awful.
That was not a good one. But Twin
That
Peaks.
was awful.
Where was the other one? Twin Peaks and what is that? Fisher?
Yeah, Fishers.
Fishers? Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. But I was a little loud rooting my team on. But we did win.
We talked a ton of shit, Ricardo and I did last night at the bar. Because some Knicks fan clapped, and everybody's like, because some Knicks fan hiding in the corner. And we're like, oh, dude, it was worse the other day. Our buddy was in town. He's a Knicks fan. He's talking so much crap. We're just like, if you
We're
kick his ass,
diehards.
it's okay.
We're diehards. But yeah, so I relate the Reggie Miller of those series to the Halliburton of this series. Like, I mean, the talking trash, the way he carries himself, the way he interacts with the fans. I mean, it just takes me back to those 90s, man. The 90s series. Those were great series.
Did you see that stat today? He's the
What?
first. Al Halliburton is the first player in NBA history to lead in points, steals, and rebounds,
Oh, without
and not have a turnover.
turnover. Yeah, I saw that. Well,
That's insane. It's
Look,
insane.
Look, according to the NBA, he's the most overrated player. But I think he's proving his worth this whole playoff run. He's done a phenomenal job. But he reminds me of the Reggie Miller. Like, it's just he's playing. He gets into New York, man, and you see the swagger come on right away. You see the way he's reacting. You see the way he's playing with everybody.
We'll see. I mean, I think the thing that everybody respected Reggie Miller for more than anything was that he never left. He just stayed
Good
there.
point.
Right. So we'll see. I know that I'm pretty sure he has a 5-year contract. He has a long-term contract.
Yeah.
And I was reading about how the Pacers are considering dipping in. Like, they have never gone over the salary cap. They always stay under. So they're considering actually like doing the tax and like paying the tax and going over just to keep the nucleus of the team. Obviously, we'll see if they win. I feel like they're going to do whatever they can to keep the team together. So.
Oh, 100%. But next year when we get Giannis, you guys are going to be in some serious trouble. But yeah, the Knicks play tomorrow night. They're down 3-1. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm a New York fan, so I got to root for them. They're back in New York, so they got a little bit of advantage there. But our ass has got to play better defense. Like, we just look like crap.
Yeah, it just. I mean, like the pace that the Pacers play at, the Knicks can't keep up with over 4 quarters. You know, and it's to your point, like you said, they have a short bench, so the Knicks need to get like some more role players that come off the bench that can actually do well. It seems like the Pacers have 3 or 4 guys that can come off and still maintain some semblance. They don't score as well. Like, obviously all the scoring happens when Halliburton and like the first team is on, but as soon as the other role players come on, there's still the scoring doesn't go the way it does, but they still, you know, play really good defense and they play sound basketball. But the Pacers need to figure out a way to play from the lead. Like, every time they have a 15-point lead, they just blow it. It's just like, guys, you guys got to put your foot down on the pedal.
That's a little bit of the refs, getting involved in the game to make it a little bit more interesting.
There's your sports betting thing where you're just like, you know, you're saying that they're making sure that the game stays close so people keep watching.
Absolutely. Got some serious money in this. All right. My prediction, Knicks win tomorrow's game. Knicks win Game 6. Knicks win Game 7. The Knicks win the NBA Finals in 4 games. That's my prediction.
Okay, so now if you had to put a money on it.
Anyway, let's go to the Stanley Cup. Let's go to the Stanley Cup playoffs update. Hey, Chris, what's going on in the Stanley Cup playoffs?
The Pacers are probably. I think they might lose tomorrow, but I think they're going to win Game 6.
I think the Knicks have a legitimate shot of winning, but after going back to Indiana, it's going to be a tough one. But going into the next one, Stanley Cup playoffs. Give us a little bit of an update and tell us what you see, Chris.
Well, I'm curious to see what it looks like. I got to play around this thing a little bit. I mean, it's 3-1 in both series. Florida is just hammering the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hurricanes team that beat the Capitals doesn't look anything like that team at all. I don't know what they need to do differently, but Florida is just putting them in a hurt locker. I don't think they have any chance to win this game. Like, they play tomorrow. They play tonight, I think, and then the other game's tomorrow. Man, I think they're gonna get thrashed.
Yeah, I've been watching Florida. Been paying attention on my phone, just getting updates. And I've been seeing some significant scores in that series, and it's not even close. Some of these games.
It's not even close. No.
Yeah. What do you think on the other side? It's Dallas and the Oilers, right?
Yeah. I think it's going to be another sweep. I think the Oilers are going to take the next game tomorrow night, and it'll be over. I'm surprised because Dallas put up a good fight. I thought they did a really good job, won that Game 7. But yeah, they're just gonna get annihilated, just like the Canes.
So where do you think the Utah Mammoths are going to be next year?
I haven't looked at the lottery yet. Interested to see what it looks like, but the way it's been set up, recently, the last 2 expansion teams made the playoffs within. Well, obviously Vegas made the finals the first year, and then they won the Stanley Cup on the second or third year, and then whatever the other team is, I can't think of it right now. They made the playoffs in their second season, so I would be surprised if the Mammoths don't make the playoffs in their second season. I think they'll be in the finals in the first 3 seasons.
All right. So going back to this Stanley Cup playoffs, who do you think wins it all? What's your prediction?
Well, I got to go with Florida because I don't want to see a Canada team win. So.
Ooh, okay. So we're gonna go a little America.
America.
And why do you think that they'll win?
I mean,
too much offense, too many
they're
skilled
just
players.
Faster, younger, better. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Oilers played a good season this year, but it's not gonna keep up.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. And just to confirm, it's Dallas Stars versus the Houston Oilers.
I thought it was Edmonton.
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, I was
Houston
like
Oilers, yeah,
Houston.
yeah.
Wait, that's yeah.
I'm being sarcastic. All right, so you have that. So you're going to put money on that? You think Florida's going to win it all?
Nah, I mean I don't really bet on sports, but I would if I was, I would pick Florida.
How do you ask me about betting?
Well, I just
money?
want to ask you because you lied and said that you think the Knicks are going to win because you know that they're not.
I'll take it to the grave. I'll take it to the grave. Until I got to put some money on the game, I'm taking it to the grave. Okay, so that's good. So you think the Florida Panthers are going to win it all? When was the last time they won? Didn't they recently win?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they won last year.
Yeah, I thought it was last year, right?
Yeah, they just won.
Yeah, what was the press secretary from last year? The one that was from Harvard. She's a Fox News host.
For
Kaylee.
Biden?
No. I'm talking about for Trump.
Oh,
Kaylee. Is it McAfee? Yeah. Her sister was a massive. Don't ask me how I know this, but her sister was a massive Florida
are
Panthers
you
fan.
stalking them on social media? What are you going on over there?
I may have followed her page for some time until it got a little out of control.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Creep alert. Creep alert.
Hey, Brianna, if you're out there, Brianna Brittany from Twin Peaks and Fisher, give me a shout. All right. Let's go to our next topic.
Oh,
We're gonna talk about old men dating young women, and because it's true love.
Is it though?
It is not true love. This is the most awkward relationship I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what Bill Belichick sees in this girl besides no comment. She only sees dollar signs. There's no way a 24-year-old that looks like her is like, oh my God, I need a 75-year-old that has a flabby body with hair that's all gray, sideways, his teeth are messed up, and is the most introverted person alive, but a football genius. Yeah, because every woman at 24 pays attention to the football geniuses in the NFL. Okay?
Yeah, right.
That's what they aspire to. Anyways, that rant's done. But what I want to talk about
I'm happy for him. Good for him.
I'm very happy for him.
Good for him.
I think she's a gold digger. But going back to this, so you know Bill Belichick the same way I know Bill Belichick as a football genius. Okay, he's going to go down. And
Well, he's a really good cheater.
Okay, I'm going to continue on my point, all right? We know him as being a very, very good coach. His record shows how many championships he had, how many great teams he had, including Tom Brady. Now, the problem is, and this is where there's an issue, the younger generation might know his name, but they don't really know his accomplishments over like his whole career. They probably know him now as the NCAA football and the Tar Heels head coach. But the bigger thing is they're going to know him as the guy that's sleeping with a smoke show 24-year-old. And, you know, his legacy.
It's a great legacy.
Yeah, but the problem with his legacy is he's going to remember having a hottie toddy on his side.
If you're going to go down
kicking
swinging, you might as well be swinging hard.
Yeah, he's banging boots with this chick, and they're all going to know that, and they're not going to remember.
Maybe.
There are reports out there, allegedly, that she might
not
pregnant.
be sleeping. Well.
Yeah, there's reports that say that they're engaged or to be married, and she might be pregnant. So, and by the way, you can't say that. There was a surveillance. There wasn't a surveillance. There was the
surveillance. You got surveillance footage, Mike?
There was.
You tell us about that?
No. There was the footage from somebody's home, or I think it was her home, where he was leaving with no shirt on in the morning. That's how this originally broke out.
Maybe he's secretly a nudist. Maybe he's got some. I mean, we don't really know. Who knows what he's like?
Allegedly, he could be. Allegedly.
I mean, he wore cut off sweatshirts forever. Maybe just maybe just got
let me ask you a question.
Maybe he's got sensitive skin. He doesn't like to wear clothing.
Let me ask you. Look at this fucking photo that you have in the background. Let me ask you a question. Even though it's cut off there, okay, look at the two people in that photo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, does that look natural for you?
I mean, hypergamy is real. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Anyway, going back to the topic. The younger generation is going to remember him not for his football accomplishments, but the controversy going around the relationship. And if I was him, I would get upset by that because I worked my entire career. I coached with some of the best. I was the coach of some of the best players of all time. I want to be remembered for my accomplishments on the field and go down in the Hall
I
of Fame.
mean, I don't know, Mike. I mean, if you have the kind of success in football that he's had, then I mean, why wouldn't you want to go down and your legacy be that you
But it's your brand.
bagged
But it's your brand, right?
his
your
brand is not in jeopardy. The guy's got
His brand is
that guy's
being
got
on
Super
seeking
Bowl
arrangements.
rings. He's got Super Bowl rings on 2 hands.
Listen, his
Dude's
brand was
fine.
his brand was destroyed by seeking arrangements.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Or
The
what
only
is
thing
that?
he could do, the only thing that he could do is if like when she turns 30, he like does the DiCaprio thing and dates and like
Oh,
marries
the
some younger.
18-year-old.
Yeah.
The 18-year-old.
That okay. If he does that, I'm on board. Yeah, creep, total creep. But I mean, this like, who cares? Whatever, man. The guy worked his butt
he's
off
a great man.
for 40
and
years in football, and now he's got
I'll tell you why I care. Because he was a
Cause-
great man.
'cause you're
And in the
jealous.
great words of Bill Burr, is he's going to get taken down by a gold digger, okay? That's what's going to happen here.
I mean, I like to think that Bill Belichick's smart enough to have a prenuptial agreement, but whatever, man. I mean,
He's dating a 24-year-old.
hey, look, if he gets taken to the cleaners by her, then he deserves it. So
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the next. Topic.
staying with the NFL.
NFL fully guaranteed contracts. I don't know if you've been watching, but a lot of these rookies have been turning around and not talking about the Trump executive order regarding NIL. That's completely wrong. The banner, Chris, you got to switch it.
Whoa, what did I do here?
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, the NFL guaranteed contracts. A lot of the rookies now.
Bad producer.
Yeah, horrible.
I know. It's I'm not gonna put it on my resume. That's for sure.
Don't do that. But there have been several rookies that have been holding out to make sure that their contracts are fully guaranteed. And you actually have a couple players in free agency that have been able to get fully guaranteed contracts. Now,
Blows my mind. Just
Yeah.
crazy. Just absolutely nuts.
well, okay. Why is it crazy?
I mean, how many busts have we seen? How many first round draft picks have done nothing? I mean, the fact that these guys are like expecting these massive payouts to do, and they haven't proven anything. That's such a Gen Z thing to just
Yeah,
like,
but
I haven't done anything, but I better get paid for it.
Yeah, but that's the NFLPA that is kind of put those signing bonuses and those contract like ranges in place. I don't have a problem with the first contract, the rookie contract, right? Because you only get a handful of players that they get that massive guaranteed contract in the first round. It's like once you hit, I forgot what it was, like pick 17, the money substantially starts falling off at that point. Most of it comes in the signing bonus or whatnot. Now, the thing I have a concern with is when you're a free agent and you sign a free agent contract. Fully guaranteed contract for free agents after your rookie contract is ludicrous and out of control.
I'm so much more comfortable with that than the other one. 100%.
I'm not, because what ends up happening is after you get those contracts, how many of those players get hurt? Like, use the MLB as an example. These guys get fully guaranteed contracts, and how many of them sign? Look at Mike Trout.
But the dollar amount is so much different in the MLB than in the NFL.
What are you talking about? Daniel Jones got like $38 million.
Okay, what did Fernando Tatis got $500 million contract?
It
Like
wasn't
the money
500. It
is
wasn't
so
500.
much different in the MLB.
What are you talking about? Patrick Mahomes got a ridiculous contracts. The AAV every year, the salary keeps going up more and more. And the problem with football, though, is football is a physical sport. The probability of you getting hurt is substantially higher.
Way higher.
Yeah, so I can't see these fully guaranteed contracts. I can see incentives in the contracts, meaning if you play 18 games a year, yes, you get X, Y, and Z.
$340 million for Fernando
Ooh.
Tatis.
Yeah, but it's like a 14 or a 15-year contract. Yeah, play the
That's
numbers.
a lot of
It's-
money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. And Patrick Mahomes' contract is a lot of money, too.
It was like 100 and whatever million for 5 years or whatever it was.
He's got like a $500 million contract. It's some crazy number. My point is, I I understand the argument for the fully guaranteed contracts in the NFL. Obviously, if you get hurt, you should be able to make your full contract that you negotiated. But I think NFL is more physical. The probability of you having a career-ending injury is higher, or you not performing up to that contract is a lot higher. I think it's ludicrous, personally, but I can understand the arguments against it.
Yeah, but how much? I mean, like these guys are getting paid in college now. They're getting paid in the NFL now. I mean, how much money would you really need to play? I mean,
it's capitalism.
Guys, why don't you get? If it was, take $15 million guaranteed up front with a bonus and way more potential the longer you play. I mean, these guys, these contracts. What is the new one? $50 million guaranteed. That hasn't even thrown a football yet, or what? Like no. No, I'm not paying that much money for somebody who hasn't done anything.
That falls on the owners, though. That falls on the owners and the negotiating power. And there's so many elements that go into it. But you create the system, and the owners created the system. Why do you think they increased the games to, 18 weeks? It went from 16 to 18.
There's more money.
Tons of more money. So there's all these elements that play into that.
I just cannot get behind some 22-year-old who's never touched an NFL football, and I'm going to guarantee him $50 million. That's ridiculous.
You talking about Russell from the Oakland Raiders?
Whoever, anybody that's an NFL rookie. He was the biggest bust
of all time.
Leaf, Ryan Leaf, the number 1 overall pick, who was
How
the worst
dare
quarterback
you talk about
ever.
Him.
I mean,
Ryan Leaf is a legend.
Tim Couch. What was it? Jamar Russell. Oh my God! I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Be very careful. Be very careful with how you talk about Ryan Leaf. He's the only person in an interview where he tried to choke the interviewer.
The guy went to jail. He went to jail.
I think it was several times.
Whatever.
I think it was 7 times. Yeah, I think the game's changed. Obviously, I think players deserve to make more money because of the pot that the NFL owners make, but the fully guaranteed element of I think is ridiculous. I can't get on board with that.
No, I mean you pay the guy a bunch of money. If he does well, then you throw money at him. If he does well, make it rain. But until he touches a football, I mean, you can pay the league minimum for all I give a crap about.
Yeah, I'm tossed up on this. I don't think I could give you a fully guaranteed contract. And personally, when the Giants give money out to people like Daniel Jones, I don't know. I can't see it. I
mean, the NFL's history of giving out money is terrible.
I know. Giants. Don't get me started on the Giants. We won't give you the best running back in the league. $3 or $4 million more a year, and he almost sets the NFL record for rushing yards. Good job, Giants and the Mara family. Let's go to your next topic. Let's talk about the lovely 1983.
Sorry, I gotta make sure. There we go.
Well, why would you bring 1983 up? Why would you bring this football team up?
Well, I was born in 1983 in Illinois.
Okay.
And so then I was looking at, what happened in Illinois in 1983? And this is what popped up. This is the first thing that popped up. So this is the first. So this year, in 1983, the Fighting Illini went 10-1. It was the first 10-win season in 81 years. The last time they had 10 wins was in 19 something, whatever. And they snapped a 15-game losing streak against Ohio State. And then they went on to get absolutely throttled by UCLA in the Rose Bowl.
Well, I got to ask you a question. Have they beaten Ohio State since
1983? I actually didn't look at that stat, but I should look up that stat.
Well, the next question I got is do they have anybody on their team?
So I looked that up too. The only person that I could find that had any NFL success was Jack Trudeau, the quarterback, and he only threw 42 touchdowns in his NFL career, so it wasn't a high bar.
This team really was phenomenal.
Well, loaded with talent.
Loaded with talent.
But
And
they
won the
beat
Big Ten.
Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, Michigan. I mean, they ran the table, man. And I mean, obviously back then it was just the
Michigan.
10 teams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was like
so
Michigan was the powerhouse back then.
yeah, they beat Michigan, they beat Ohio State, but of course, like I said, they went and lost like 40-12 in the Rose Bowl.
What about
But-
Indiana? Was Indiana good back
They beat
then?
Indiana then too. I mean, I don't know. Indiana's not
Indiana sucked
historically. They
yeah,
also beat
they've been
Purdue, but you know what does that mean, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just I thought it was really cool. Cool to see. I mean, that's where I was born, so not very far away from where I was born. This was happening. Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
I'm just
Obviously-
curious.
Obviously, the NFL talent wasn't necessarily there for this team, but they overcame. They did not do very well the year before. They were a really bad football team, so they kind of exceeded expectations. That Iowa was number 4 when they beat them that year. So
wow.
I mean, they handled their business, but
So what did they? Just curious. Did you look into see what the record was the following year?
I didn't. I could look that up though.
Yeah, look up it real fast because I want to see how much. Because if they sucked the following year, you knew they threw serious NIL money under the table to this team.
They're always throwing serious NIL money under the table forever.
Did you see? Do you see the ESPN 30 for 30 like University of Miami? Yeah, I gave him $20,000 in cash straight up from the athletic department. They put it in envelopes.
They went 7-4 the following year.
No, yeah, there was some NIL money, booster money here.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm sure there's boosted
This
money.
year,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised if, like, you know, the coach after they had like such a successful year, he was like, "All right, I'm out. I'm going to like." Well, obviously,
Oh
he's
yeah,
not going to
he
Penn
probably
State.
went to Ohio State the following year.
Yeah, he probably went to
Yeah.
Ohio State. He got a payday. He was like, "I turned this program around. I got to get the fuck out of here." Dude. But yeah, that's pretty cool though. Actually, I didn't even know. Like, I knew who was the coach a couple of years ago for them. He went from was it Tubby Smith? No, it wasn't Tubby Smith.
Talking about
What's-
the Indiana coach?
No, Illinois.
Oh yeah, the Illinois coach. He's a really big dude.
yeah.
His wife is really hot, considering he weighs like 300 pounds.
And
but
you
they
call me the fucking creeper.
They had a really good season this year, but their colors are awful, man. That orange, and they're basically stealing Syracuse's colors. I mean, like they're like the
Yeah,
orange
Syracuse
and blue is.
Yeah, Syracuse changed it up this year. They got like a bunch of different things. All right. Let's go to our last topic. ESPN shuts down LA studios.
I don't have a picture for this one.
All right. So what did ESPN do?
So they cited business reasons, which is obviously a really boring statement. But yeah, they shut down the LA. They shut down LA studios and moved it to Connecticut. It's just I thought this was fascinating. They had to fire like 40 people because like a bunch of people weren't going to move to Connecticut. Obviously, they kept on. I think they're going to keep a staff of like 5 people in LA to do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just another example of something that's been going on in California for at least a couple decades that's leaving, and they're saying business reasons, but we know it's just because cost. We know the costs are just out of control, and it's cheaper to move it to Connecticut. There's no real advantage to having in LA versus plus. We all know that the East Coast runs the sporting world. As much as we like to say that there's all kinds of cool stuff on the West Coast, we know that all the times are dictated based on the East Coast time zone, and so it just makes more sense to me. I think it's. I mean, I hope it works out for ESPN, but it's just sad, man. California is just losing so much business, so much history, just because it's just so much crap going on there right now, and it's hard to watch.
Do you remember when ESPN created the studios and when they started broadcasting on their channel where they were going nuts? They were like in live from our new LA studios.
Yeah, I remember that back.
It was such a rollout because their plan was to hit the West Coast market more efficiently. So I think the way that they wanted to do it was on the time zone aspect, and it just didn't work. The problem is New York, like the East Coast cities, are where the viewership is, and you got to stay where you know you're going to get viewership where people are going to be paying attention a little bit more. Also, they already have all the studios up in Connecticut. Like, it makes no
they don't
sense.
have to add anything. It just folds right back in. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wasn't surprised by this move.
No, it's just sad. It's just sad that they're doing it. I hate seeing it because California's beautiful. I mean, there's so much awesome stuff there. It's just gone the wrong way.
Yeah. All right. So
Got lost.
I agree. So let's go back to our last topic. I am gonna throw into this, or we're gonna continue doing this, but today we're gonna start. We are gonna choose one game where we're going to. Chris is gonna make a prediction, and I'm gonna make a prediction.
Oh crap!
So this week we'll start with sports. We're gonna go with the NBA. So. When it comes to the NBA, who do you want to go with? You want to go with the Minnesota? You want to go to the West Conference, or you want to go to the Eastern Conference? And at the end of it, what we're going to do is whoever wins gets a free dinner. Whoever loses has to sit in the restaurant, if it's a nice place, and wear the other person's favorite team's uniform.
Oh, okay. All right. I like it. Okay.
Okay. So... this week, who do you want to go? You want to go West Coast or you want to go East Coast? The Western Conference or Eastern
Well,
Conference?
let's go
NBA?
Western because I think you're a little
Damn it.
emotionally, and plus I don't want to wear a Knicks jersey, but
Oh, that would have been great. All right, so this week we'll start off with the Western Conference. Tonight's game, it's OKC versus Minnesota. I'll let you choose first, and then I'll make my prediction.
I think OKC is going to close the series out tonight.
I do too. I'm going to stay consistent with you as well. I'm going to take OKC tonight, and that's where we'll start. So we'll come back next week, let you know, pick a new game. If there's any suggestions anybody wants to give on what sports and what we predict, feel free to share. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us with Almost Athletes, Episode 5. Make sure to tune in tomorrow to Almost Patriots at 7 o'clock. And look forward to seeing you soon. And Chris, you better not put the damn laser beams.
The what? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. It's just amazing. It's like a techno party over here.
That was the Indy 500.
Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to talk about that tomorrow for sure.
Everybody have a good night.
Hey, all. Peace. Cheers.